Welcome back to the Runners Recap with Coach Rod Barnes. As always, we are thankful that you are here with us.
I'm glad to be here.
And so, Coach, I'm sure that you're very thankful to not only be back home yesterday, but also to get that win, get back in the win column. How good was it to not only play on home court, but to get the win there?
The winning is always great, and that's what you feel really good afterwards. But it was good to be back home, be here with our fans, having a couple of days in our beds, and having the opportunity to work a few days on our court. And when the guys come out and respond with the win, then you're really happy to be home.
Yeah, and it was a 67-53 win over UC Merced. Yes. But of course, coming out of South Dakota there, maybe a little bit of a cold start there offensively for the Roadrunners.
Yes.
What were you seeing from the team? And then also you got that surge there in the second half. What changed there for the second half?
Well, I thought we got there. I really, as disturbed, as sad as I might feel, I just thought our travel. When we left here in Bakersfield, our plane got delayed about 3 different times, and we got to Denver, and we were gonna go into Sioux Falls and travel on up, but we got delayed here, got delayed in Denver. We got into Sioux Falls, it was late. So sometimes with teams, they kind of throw off their rhythm. We had to change hotels and all of that kind of things. And I just think just to start, a lot of times teams are so much into rhythm and, doing the same thing the same way. And I thought that distracted some of our guys early. Obviously, we haven't seen snow here. We just recently have seen some rain, so you can imagine what our guys were thinking once we got there. And they kind of, were excited to see snow and kind of, I guess, experienced that a little bit. And I just didn't think we handled it well. I thought we came off the USC game, and I thought we went into the South Dakota game not as focused. And again, travel had something to do with that. Coming off the loss at USC, having traveled a lot during the month of November, I just think that we didn't handle it well. And I think at halftime we got a chance to visit with our guys, kind of settle them down, kind of get them in a rhythm of, hey, listen, this is what's going on, and we've got to, because we turned the ball over 13 times in the first half, and that's abnormal for us now, especially with the way that we've been playing. And then we only had one in the second half, and that was the difference. That gave us an opportunity to come back.
Yeah, and I was kind of playing off the cold and coming back home a little bit of a cold start this game around too.
Yes.
So with that, what I guess are you seeing? Because of course at USC we were talking about before that game that it's about getting quick, and especially against a team like the Trojans.
Right.
Do you think maybe the change of competition has kind of slowed the roll a little bit for you guys?
I think so. I think one of the things, and I told our team, and we've got to learn from our mistakes, obviously. I thought, last night game, I thought we started off slow. I thought we had some great opportunities. I thought we were really overly excited about being home. And sometimes, again, especially with a team that's new and kind of young, and the experience matter of young, you got to find those guys that can rhythmically get you started. Most teams have a couple of guys they go to early. Right now, we've been having different guys step up, so we haven't really just found that real smooth starting lineup. We haven't started with who's the go-to guy early in the game. And those are things that we're working through. I thought we had some great shots last night. I thought we had some easy opportunities. But again, I think our guys are really excited about being home. We had practice, really great practice before the game, so I thought, hey, we're going to really come out tonight and get going. And we didn't. The thing that I was proud for, I thought they hung in there, and I thought as the game went on, we started to play better. But we were a little out of kilter. And again, it's better to be like that and win than it is to be like that and lose.
No doubt. You don't always have the same start every game, so it's good to be able to finish it out.
Right.
And a spotlight for sure has been James Suber. Not only did he have his first career double-double up at South Dakota, he comes back and tops himself with another double-double. What have you seen from him, and is this something you maybe expected that he would get a spark at this point in the season?
I thought that, and most of the time in our program, our seniors start to, as we go forward, because early on, again, we're changing lineups, we're trying to figure out the best group. He's been around. He was played 2 years ago. Last year he redshirted. So you expect those guys to kind of step up and kind of carry you until the younger guys or the new guys. And he's kind of epitomizes what we want to do. He's a hard-nosed, tough, physical guy. He works extremely hard. Not the tallest guy in the world, not the most talented guy when you talk about offensive skills. He just works so hard, and that work pays off for him. I think after the South Dakota, I think after the USC game, I thought he gained a lot of confidence because he battled against their big guys, which most of those guys have potential to be pros, and he hung in there with them. And then, as you said, the competition wasn't the same the last 2 games, and I think he's really gained a lot of confidence, but I think it started with the USC game.
And then another veteran on the team, Ricky Holden. So we saw him drop 25 when he was back at home in Antelope Valley, which is crazy. Back at home, that was nearly a month ago. It's crazy to think of that stretch.
That's it.
But then last night, he kind of a little bit slower there offensively. So what are you seeing from him, and how are you trying to utilize him in the games moving forward?
Well, you know, he's a guy that's he's our point guard. He's kind of floor leader as far as getting us into our offense. His shot wasn't following last night. And I think he got disappointed early because he missed a couple of wide open shots. You know, but as I told him, he had 6 assists and no turnovers. And that's pretty good for a point guard. And just for last night, we didn't need for him to make shots. Right. And sometimes guys get so caught up, and I've been trying to work with our team is, you know, am I efficient in what I'm doing? Am I doing what I asked them to do as the coach asked them to do? And then how successful. Let's talk about efficiency. And I told him, I said, you didn't shoot it well, you didn't score a lot, but I'll take 6 assists and no turnovers every night out. And because I know he'll make shots. And our team, as I tell them, like, we're going to play our best basketball late just because of the changes in the lineups, different people, guys being injured, guys coming off injury, you know, all of those kind of things. But we've got to continue to try to hopefully get everybody playing well. And the chemistry, I think, is there from the standpoint of our guys are very selfish and they play together. But some of it has to do with, and I told them, you know, when things not going well, you can't get down. You just got to keep playing. And right now we're experiencing those highs and lows and inconsistencies with just about every player at different times.
And if I can pick a coach's brain while I have one here, what's the way to get someone back in their confidence? Because I know the feeling when whatever sport you may be playing, when your shot's not there, when what you do well isn't there, how do you get someone back and ready, especially when you have a stretch before your next game?
You know, a lot of times, first of all, it starts off with a conversation because you got to find out where, you know, their head. If they're all over the place and they've got all of these thoughts, then that's a little bit more work. But if they're just in a state that they didn't play well, they're down because they don't have any confidence because of that, then you're trying to get them back in the gym as quickly as possible. But also, it's more mental than it is physical because Ricky or anyone else, they've taken a lot of shots. They've done a lot of work. Last night, James Suber was 4 for 14. Wow, from the free throw line. If he makes free throws, he's probably got 30 and 20. But he doesn't make free throws. And but immediately following, you know, we got in the gym. He didn't even go home. You know, he went straight to the gym. And that's what you want a player to do. You don't want them to go home and get to thinking. I tell them, work overcomes worrying. So let's go back to work. But also in that, we have to have positive feedback as far as from the coaches with them. But, and again, I think some of it has to be the kid desire to play well again. And James Suber last night, like I say, went 4 for 14 from the free throw line. I'm like, are you kidding me? But he got back in the gym. Today he was in the gym this morning. You know, you can't run from it.
Right.
You know, so, and then you've got to try to maybe take some of the mechanics. Sometimes you have to fix that. Last night I thought he was leaning back on his free throws too much, so we kind of talked about leaning forward more, and hopefully he doesn't go, 4 for 14 again, but we will take 18 and 19. That's good numbers.
Yeah, he's got some goals.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Well, I'm just going to say I'll need you in my life. When I'm taking some L's in my own life, I'm going to be calling you up for some confidence and motivation.
Sure.
But now moving forward, you are back on the road. So as good as it feels to be home, you're getting back on the road again and up at Idaho this go around. So two names that caught my eye, Tyson and Allen, are two of the offensive guys for the team. So are those the two guys you're kind of looking at, or what do you see to be a challenge in this one?
Normally, first of all, their coach does a great job. They run really good stuff on the offensive end, so we've got to really prepare for. They do different misdirection stuff. So there's a lot of coaches sometimes you go in a game and their game plan is not complicated. They just do it extremely well. And then you have other teams that they're really complicated in what they do, whether that's flare screen, back screen, cross screens. They present so many different kind of looks for you, that it's difficult. Coach Verlin there at Idaho, he's good at both. They do a lot of different stuff. They put you in a lot of different positions to try to score on you, and then they do them well. So we've got our work cut out for us, but as you said, you asked the question, when we go on the road, most of the time you're not going to take two players away.
Right.
We try to go into a game plan. If we go on the road, if we could take one player away, then we've got a really good chance to win, because obviously they've been dependent on both guys to score. So we'll go into the guy, and I can't tell you, just which one of them we want to try to take away.
That's a secret.
Yeah, because especially, a lot of coaches now, man, they're picking up everything they can pick up. So they're on social media. They got guys that have been hired to find out if someone
they're
injured
watching
or
runners
not.
recap.
Yes, no doubt about that. So, but we'll try to take one of them away, and then we'll try to control the tempo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good game plan to me, but we'll keep it there.
Keep it there.
All right, Coach. So as I always say, my favorite part of this whole thing, one is just having you join us, but two is the breakdown with Barnes, where I put you in the hot seat. And again, this has been the tough part for me, because we've been doing this for a few weeks now. So I'm trying to
right?
nine. Yeah, nine. Yes. So I've been thinking of questions as best I can. And I'm going to start it off with, if there is a rule in basketball that you could take away from the game, which one would it be?
Oh, wow. One rule I could take away from
one
the
that's
game.
maybe annoyed you your whole time of playing or now coaching?
What is probably annoying me more than anything now is the going to the monitors. I do like replay. We're going to the monitor, but it's taking so long. We have 3 officials that are going to the monitor, and they got to talk, and the game has changed, and we're still trying to figure it out. But the one thing I would probably, if I could, put back into the game is a little bit more hand checking. I just think that part of the game brought about more of a physicality, a little bit more contact with each other. This new freedom of movement, bothers me just a little bit, because NBA guys do it. So, why would we try to take away something in the college game that they're going to have to expect when they get to the pro game? But I don't know where you get these questions from.
Right here, Coach. I don't know. Like I said, I started off easy with you, and you thought those were the hard days. Just getting started. I was going to say, so when I thought of that question, it brought to my attention the thing I used to hate watching and still kind of do is, obviously I know that it's in the game plan, the fouling at the end, to slow down, try to get the ball back. I'm not a fan of it. And what was even worse as a Phoenix Suns fan was when we got Shaq, the Hack-a-Shack.
The Hack-a-Shack.
So I was like, what are your feelings about things like that, targeting the guys, put them at the line when they're struggling, or just in general, trying to get the ball back, the possession late, and slow the clock down with the fouls?
Right. That is, it's good for me when I'm the one getting the fouls trying to come back. It's bad for me when they're fouling my guy and he can't shoot free throws. But again, that's part of the game. And I mean, what I mean by part of the game, it's okay, because I think coaches have to make the adjustment. If your guy can't shoot free throws, then you got to put someone else in. And that's kind of my advantage. Like with Shaq, it's my advantage that we have Shaq that's 7'2" or whatever, 300 pounds.
We'll take him.
We'll take him. But then also we're taking that, monster dunks and great rebounding and shot blocking, he can't shoot free throws. So
Poor guy.
you got to take it with you. You take the good with the bad, and hopefully it works out for you. So
it's strategy. There's strategy in every game,
yes,
whether we love or hate it. It's part of the game.
I think you took that Shaq deal kind of personal, right?
I did. I was frustrated, and I mean, I feel like he wasn't with the Suns very long, but I mean, it just. I love the speed of the game. I told you that early on. I love tempo. So when the game gets slowed down to that in any sport, I'm just like, just let him play.
Yes, I get it.
But strategy, I do get that too.
Yeah.
So weird question now for the dunks, because I love to watch your guys' dunks, and I know we don't see it as much during the actual game, but should a dunk be worth more points?
No. No, not at all. I mean, it's great.
That would
for
never
the fans.
happen.
It's great for the fans, and it may happen one day. I'm telling you.
Maybe.
I never thought the 3-point shot would just
That's true.
live to survive. I thought people it's a shot where it doesn't matter the distance.
And there's those of us who never know a world without the 3-point shot.
Exactly. So to see, it was a surprise me. It will not surprise me that one day that it's a point, or maybe we might even say a point and a half by that time. So I just don't want to be a part of it when it happens, okay?
That would complicate the game a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, so if you are at all keyed in to college football, if you knew the news yesterday, Ohio State Urban Meyer announced his retirement after the Buckeyes get done playing the Rose Bowl January 1st.
Yep.
Do you think with all, we've talked a little bit of the NFL.
Right.
I know Urban Meyer, and it was announced that he is taking retirement based on health concerns, but do you think if that's not the case and he's being pushed out, should he get an NFL job, maybe let's say the Packers?
I don't think he will do that first. First of all, I have been an Urban Meyer fan, and because of this past season, and we know the story about his coach and how he kept him on, and I didn't study all the ins and outs of whether the allegations are true, which I believe they are, but I've respected the job he's done, and from afar, for what everyone tells me, he's a good guy. Again, sometimes behind the scenes, different things happen.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's not the fault of the head coach, but I think I really do. I watch their games because, as I told you, I'm a big college football fan. I thought he was sick during the year. There was times where I would look on the side and I'm like, he's hurting. And as a coach, you kind of know aching, hurting, injured. You kind of get a sense of what's going on with players and coaches. And I said, he's not going to make it through the year, but he made it.
Yeah.
I think, first of all, he should take care of his health. He's 53 years old. He's got hopefully a long time to live. But also, I think he'll be back. I just don't think it's going to be in the NFL.
Okay.
I don't think he's in the type of coach that deals with maturity of superstars. Because I think when you start talking professional, the quarterbacks kind of control what goes on, or the running back or the wide receiver can say whatever he wants because they're not throwing him the ball. Or,
we're not dropping any names.
No, we're not going to say anybody's names. But so I just don't think that he will. I don't think that'll be a good fit for him. It wouldn't surprise me, but that if he would try it, just because. To get out of the stigma that he's kind of under right now a little bit with what happened in his last run there at Ohio State, that he would go, but the NFL having issues right now with disciplinary situations. So I think it wouldn't surprise me in 2 years he's not back on the sideline in college. I actually expect that. I don't think he knows. He's been such a driven coach. I don't think he knows what normalcy as far as life means, and I know that as a coach. I think you know that weekends,
still figuring out.
Weekends, holidays, they kind of come and go, and just part of what you do, it becomes your life. And I think football and helping coaching young men, and that every weekend preparation, I don't think he knows anything else.
Very true. And I know we could get into a lot of discussion about all the issues and implications there, because of course there's a lot of issues being dealt with at the college level and the NFL. So hopefully we see some changes. We'll just say that. And you were just talking about normalcy in the job, and last week I found out that you put in a lot of hours, which I already knew, but what's the latest that you've had to stay up for this job, and have you ever pulled an all-nighter to do the job?
This job?
The coach, yep.
Or just coaching?
Just coaching, yep.
Oh, I've put a lot of all-nighters.
Oh, coach.
No, it's something. I do believe in rest. I do believe in sleep. I think sleep is a miracle worker for people. I just don't experience a lot of those miracles because I work a lot. I try now to manage my time of rest, and because obviously I'm getting older, but also I think I'm just better when I'm fresher. So that's something that I've had to make adjustments for, is my time management. But, you know, until recently, like during the, recently, maybe a month ago, I would go to bed about 1 and get up at 4:30. But I am working on that now. I'm trying to get in bed about 10:30 and still get up at 4:30. And that'll be pretty good time. So
4:30. That breaks my heart. Unless you're a morning person, then you love it.
Well, I heard you was here till 2
I know.
a few nights.
I'm a night owl, so I'm on that side of the clock.
Right, but I am too, but I just don't know how to not get up and get at it again, and that's a problem that I've had.
That's a good problem.
When you look at Urban Meyer, it starts to make you think even about health. He's 53 years old, I'm 52 years old, and I am thinking, you better take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, and you see me on the sideline, I don't want to be over there grimacing because I'm not feeling well, because I haven't taken care of myself. So I'm learning.
We don't want to see that either. So get some sleep.
Yes.
But you can tell me your habits though later on how to get up at 4:30, because I would love to be that kind of person, but whew, that is early. Okay, so we're going to wrap this one up with the best lesson you've ever learned as a coach. Maybe from a fellow coach, maybe from a player, but what's the best lesson? The
best lesson I've learned, and I learned this early on in my young career, that people, as we take them as student athletes or players, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That has been the biggest lesson for me, because I've always tried to build a relationship with people, but also with our players, that they know I really care about their well-being. So once they know I care, then they will listen, at least have some thoughts of what I'm saying.
You're dropping knowledge today, Coach. But you always do.
I was prepared, though. I was prepared.
You got some extra sleep last night to get ready for
this. I did.
All right, Coach, as always, thanks so much for joining us. And we will see you all next week with Runner's Recap.